Hello there, welcome back to another live. I'm very glad to be here after missing you all last week, but I was having such a fantastic time on holiday with the family. However, come Wednesday, it did feel a little strange not to be on here. And I was kind of contemplating at one point whether I should just go live and do something for a couple of minutes, but it would have been strange. So anyhow, here we are, we're back. My name is Nakita, I run the Mama Manual blog and social media pages, and my mission is to help you busy moms take control of your time to live the life that you truly want to live. So the topic for today is how our life changed when we started to meal plan. I did something similar last week. It was all about batch cooking, and I got a lot of messages from you moms. It was so delightful to see all of the moms who could completely relate to what I was talking about. And I also got a few positive messages from moms who decided to try batch cooking for the first time. And a lot of you tried my wraps as well. So I got lots of pictures of wraps wrapped in baking paper. And I heard it's been a success. So congrats to all of you. Guess what I was doing just before I started this live stream? So I was ready early, of course, and I always keep myself busy. I don't like waiting and looking at the clock. So I took my laptop, which was next to me, and I decided I would sort out next week's meal plan. So yes, that's right. I was meal planning. It was very quick. In a couple of minutes, I just got 1 week's worth of dinner sorted, and I was halfway through planning my shopping list as well. So that's proof to you all that meal planning can be done on the fly. Sometimes I'm even waiting somewhere in a queue. I have my phone and I decide to make I decide to make the most of my time, and I start meal planning while I have my phone. So you can do it anywhere at any time. And the most important thing is that you actually do it. And if you fail to do it, just pick yourself up right where you left off. It doesn't mean you failed. I mean, there are days when I don't meal plan and I say like, okay, Friday, I don't know what I feel like on Friday, so let's just leave it blank. There's one day next week, actually. It's a long weekend. There's a holiday, and I decided to just take one day off, and we'll see what happens, you know. We'll scrounge, we'll get takeout, we'll eat out, but I don't feel like planning for one day, so why not? Anyhow, I'm going to take you back 10 years. If you've watched last week's live, I've already given a bit of overview of how it was before. And I'll just touch briefly on it again today, just in case you weren't with us. Not last week, actually, it was 2 weeks ago. How many of you have watched the live I did about batch cooking? If you haven't, it's available here on this page. You can just scroll down, you can click on videos. Or else you can go to my YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel, I'm uploading all of my lives because it's easy to access all of them over there. And also, if you subscribe, you'll get a notification each and every time that a new video is up. So it's pretty handy. I'll post a link later. So we already have a question here, and I'm going to say hello to a couple of people because I am seeing a couple of familiar faces. So hello to Audrey and Sabrina, and Audrey says welcome back. Thank you so much, dear. And Anne-Marie and Nolene, hello, welcome back. I'm glad to be back, believe it or not. And Willie Claire says, do you use any particular apps on your mobile for meal planning and shopping lists? Well, meal planning I do in my calendar, so I don't really use an app. However, for my shopping lists, I use an app called Our Groceries. That's one word. It's a free app. You can pay to get a few upgrades, but I'm fine with the free version. And it's very handy because you can share an app with your better half, maybe with a friend who you're shopping with, maybe you're swapping play dates and shopping dates. And so what you can do is you get to access the same shopping lists from different devices. So I can see my shopping lists from my laptop, from my mobile phone. My husband can see the same lists from his phone. And also what's so great about it is that you can see everything, every little thing being added in real time and also being crossed out in real time. So I'm home and my husband is shopping and I'm wondering if he's even got to the supermarket yet. I take my phone, log into the app, and I just see, for example, there was a list of 40 items and he's down to 5. So I'm like, okay, he's at the till. He's almost at the till then. So it's very handy, it's very easy to use. You can also split it into different shopping lists, and you can also split it into different subcategories as well. So if you're not using one, I suggest you check it out. It's called Our Groceries. One last thing as well, which I find really handy. It has, I'm not sure if it has it for Android phones, but for iPhones, you can use Siri. So I'll tell Siri, hi Siri, can you add mustard to my supermarket list? and then I get automatically the mustard in my supermarket list, and that is super because you're rushing, you're on the go. I just remembered I need to buy something, and it's like, hi Siri, can you add mustard to the supermarket list? So anyway, I'm a gadget freak, so something like that I will surely love. So meal planning, how many of you do it? So if you meal plan, I want you to write meal plan. Now, if you don't meal plan, but you want to learn how to meal plan, I want to get a yes. So if you meal plan, write meal plan, and if you want to learn how to meal plan, I want you to write yes. So if you haven't as well started meal planning, have you ever tried it and maybe you haven't been successful? Or why haven't you started? Is there something that's holding you back? Have you struggled? Are you confused? Don't know where to start? If I can get more feedback from you, I can create more content, especially for you, because I know that this is a hot topic right now, and also it's one of my favorites, I guess you've noticed. So if you can let me know where you're struggling or where you would like help with, I will very gladly come up with some videos, blog posts, whatever is needed. So I've been meal planning for about 10 years now, and before that I didn't really know meal planning existed per se. I mean, 10 years ago we weren't on Pinterest, which seems to have blown up, and you start like logging on and you start getting all of these ideas about these trends and everything, but meal planning hasn't been one of those trends which has kind of come forward and disappeared. It's something which has caught on, and I believe it's still being, not I believe, it's still being used, and for a lot of reasons which I'll go into later. So I tried to meal plan about 10 years ago, and I didn't get the hang of it straight away. So I was rather overwhelmed, because I remember sitting down and trying to come up with a plan for the week, and I think of, spaghetti, spaghetti, and spaghetti. The moment I'd sit down, I wouldn't even I couldn't manage to come up with any dishes which I wanted to cook or the family wanted to eat. So it was kind of a struggle, or it would be fine one week, and then the week after I wouldn't get any ideas, or I wouldn't stick to the plan, or I wouldn't prepare the shopping list, and then it would fail. So in the beginning it was rather hard, but once we discovered the joys of batch cooking, and I'll tell you the story very quickly just in case you weren't here last 2 weeks ago. What happened was we discovered batch cooking by accident, you can say, because we were very busy for a couple of days, and my husband and I decided that let's make lunch for 2 days instead of 1, because we have no time to make lunch tomorrow. So we made double what we usually made, and what happened was, I remember on the second day, it was a Friday, and I think we were both invited to lunch somewhere, so we thought it's such a waste to throw away this chicken wrap. They were chicken wraps. So we thought, shall we freeze it? It was like the golden question. Tried, yes, let's freeze it and see what happens. So we froze the wraps and took them out on Sunday evening, put them in the fridge, and then we took them to work with us on a Monday. Anyway, it wasn't the best result, because we didn't know what sort of food could be frozen best, and also we didn't know how to freeze it, like the packaging that we should use. But we were so pleasantly surprised come Sunday evening, because we did not have to prepare our lunches, and just taking our wraps out of our lunch boxes on Monday and heating them up, that we decided to try and make it better and make more of them. So the second time around, we made a huge batch of wraps. We changed the cooking method slightly, changed up some ingredients, wrapped it in parchment paper, because the first time around we wrapped them in foil and everything ended up very soggy and sticking together. And it was a success. So then once we discovered that we could batch cook, and how easy it was, because we didn't have to stop and after dinner time just take out more ingredients, cook again, make the kitchen messy again, cook until you're exhausted and almost to tears. Then we thought, so if we're batch cooking, we need to plan. So in the very beginning, we just started to plan these basic lunches. But then, as we got very good at it, we decided we should try planning for a week or a month maybe. Actually, we did try both. And at that time then, I remember we started with a month actually. We were very ambitious because we were so happy with the results that we got with the batch cooking that we decided we would try it for the month. And it didn't work out quite so well. Then we switched to weekly meal planning instead, which worked out better. And I think that the number one thing that I learned from that experience was that the reason I was so overwhelmed when I sat down to meal plan, because I was looking for recipes online while I was trying to meal plan. So imagine trying to think of recipes, getting no ideas whatsoever, opening up your laptop, searching for recipes. You see this chicken dish, oh, it's nice. You go into the ingredients, olives, I don't like olives with chicken. Go into the next dish, it looks too complicated. Go into the next one. Oh yes, we can have beef instead of chicken. And you'll go down this never-ending rabbit hole and you end up with 0 dishes in your meal plan. So what did I do? I split the 2 exercises into 2. So recipe research was one thing and meal planning was another. So they were I started doing 2 completely different exercises. So when I sat down to meal plan, it wasn't half as overwhelming as it was. And if you've downloaded my 100 recipes resource, you know the second trick that I've got up my sleeve. So once I found recipes that I loved, not even the ones that I tried, even ones that I wanted to try, I started to list them. Because when I sat down to meal plan, it was so much easier. Instead of trying to think, and I forget so much, my memory is a disaster, I would just open up my pad of paper. In the beginning, I used to use paper, now I use digital. And I used to just go over my list. And I just used to choose the recipes that I wanted from that list. So that was a game changer. So if you've just joined us, because I can see that the number has increased quite significantly, we're talking meal planning today. And I am talking about our transformation from back when we didn't use to meal plan to how our life is now that I meal plan every week. I also asked who meal plans over here. So if you do meal plan, I would love to get a comment from you. Just say meal plan. And if you want to learn, please write yes. Now, I'm very happy to create more content about meal planning. And if there's anything at all with regards to meal planning that you'd like to learn more of, or that confuses you, or you're struggling, or you just don't know where to start, or anything at all that you'd like me to help with, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you with some super content ASAP. So let's just say hello to a couple of people over here again. Oh wow, so many faces. I missed you all, really. So hi Maria, Lorna, and Anne-Marie, and Mary Lou, Mariska, Roberta, Maria Pia, Sabrina, Charlene. Wow, and we have a comment over here. So I make a monthly plan roughly so that I can get my monthly shopping done. Then break down the list each week and decide which of the recipes we'll be doing the following week. Works well. Yeah, I guess that would. It's kind of a mixture of a weekly and a monthly plan, I guess. I'll share what we started doing in the beginning and what we're doing now ASAP. So hi Josephine, who says she meal plans for the next 2 days. Hi Claire, Katya, Ingrid, Claudia, who says hello. And hi Charmaine. And Charmaine says, one day do us a video cooking a weekly plan. Your kitchen is always clean. I try to keep my kitchen clean. I have a dishwasher, so everything goes inside it. And our apartment is pretty small, so as you enter the front door, it's an open plan. And there's the kitchen and the dining area and the living room. So if this area is looking messy, very messy, I mean, there are random things running around here and there, it's not perfect. But I try to keep it under control, because imagine walking into the door and finding like huge piles of, I don't know, plates, laundry or stuff like that. It would completely overwhelm me. So I try to keep tabs on keeping it clean and tidy. And white always looks kind of tidier as well. So I love white. My house is almost all white. Charmy, I'm not quite sure about the video. Can you explain what video you're asking for exactly? Because I can see something that I can come up with. So, hi Darlene and Annalisa and Claudia and Claudine, Davinia and Claire. Hello ladies. And Edwina says, yes, please. I'm new to motherhood, so I have very few time on my hands. Yes, and meal planning helps when you're a new mom. So if you can try and get yourself organized and just list a few very, 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 very simple meals. They could be the simplest thing, but as long as it's not bogging you down every single day trying to think of what you're going to eat. I mean, newborns, they take up 99% of your day and night. So yes, I will do my best to help you, Edwina. So please send me a message as well, a private message if you need any more help. So I am just going to go briefly into the story that I mentioned 2 weeks ago. I know that some of you were here, but I'm just going to repeat it for the people that weren't here. So back 10 years, I'm going rewind. We didn't meal plan at all. So every single day on my way home, I'd leave work, go and pick up my son, and I'm thinking about what the hell I'm going to cook. So traffic, my son, he's 3 years old, he's tired, we'd go to the supermarket, and we used to live in Aura as well, so it used to be quite a hassle to park. So by the time we were in and out of the supermarket and back home, Yannick used to be so tired and he wanted my attention and he's crying, he's hanging onto my legs, I'm trying to cook. I realize I haven't got all of the ingredients anyhow, or I've bought something extra, and I hate wasting, or I hate having a lot of extra stuff. I've never had huge kitchens, so they take up space as well. And then, anyway, I try and put dinner together, and it's crazy, it's dinner time, Neil is home, everyone's stressed out, and never-ending story, go to bed feeling like a failure, no time to do anything, no time for ourselves at all, and repeat. So it was exhausting. I was disappointed at myself. I felt like I was failing. And it's not, it's, I take it as, it was a point in my life where I was stressed out. I was sad. I kind of lost control because I felt like I was chasing my own tail. But it led me to trying to make the best of the time I had. If I wasn't so desperate, so to speak, maybe I wouldn't have arrived at the point that I was today. So I am grateful for this journey. I don't know, I'm sure that some of you can relate to this because I do get quite a lot of messages from moms who go through the same thing. And meal planning isn't hard until you get the hang of it. So some people even get confused. For example, I remember being confused in the beginning. I used to shop first and then try to meal plan from the foodstuffs that I bought, which was a mistake because I'd end up buying more or less the same items and always I'd have something missing. So I'd need to go back to the supermarket still, which is very stressful when you're going in for a meal or for a thing or two. And you have young kids, you know, and it's expensive as well because you end up going to the closest store for convenience and most probably you'll end up buying something which you don't need as well. So, well, if you can just try and sit down and make a plan, it will be so much better. I just want to remind you about the live of 2 weeks ago, which I spoke about our batch cooking journey. And if you haven't watched it, you can go to the videos on the Facebook page right now, after the live, or else you can go to my YouTube channel. I will leave a link later in the comments. So, little break for me here. So when we discovered we could meal plan, as I mentioned, we tried to do it for 1 month first. So I'd take out my calendar, I'd look at the month ahead, and it was especially great because once you've got meal plans for a month, you're like, yay, that's it for 1 whole month. I'm all planned out, I know what we're eating, everything is sorted, 1 full month of not thinking about what I need to cook. And also what I loved about it was that since you could get an overview of a full month, you could be more intentional about what you're eating. So I could really look at my month and say, we're not eating enough veggies, we need to eat more veggies, we need to eat more fish, we need more white meat. So I could really plan well. However, what happened was, once I had my meal plan ready and we'd get the shopping done as well, then we used to start getting like invites, for example, to dinners, or something would come up. And what used to happen was, despite of me sitting down for quite a while, because meal planning for a month, of course, takes a while longer, I used to have to sit down again and amend my calendar, because, for example, let's say next week we're invited to dinner. So I would need to remove the meal from my calendar and say, okay, so this chicken we'll try and eat on this day. And oh, I've bought the ingredients for this chicken dish, but we're not using them. Or else, oh, we have a school meeting on this day, so that dish won't work. Okay, I'll swap this day with this day, but I'll need to go to the supermarket again. So it kind of got more overwhelming. So after we tried monthly meal planning and it was a bit of a mess, I decided to try a weekly meal plan. I wasn't so keen because a week goes by so quickly. But on the other hand, when you're planning for 1 week, it's quick as well. So that's the big pro of weekly meal planning. You just sit down, you can get it done in a couple of minutes. But yes, of course, it goes by very quickly, but then you get to sit down again and just hash it out really quickly again. Now what I do is that it's very automatic. So once a week on a Wednesday, I will get my meal plan all sorted, because our main shopping, the big shopping spree, is done on a Thursday. So come Wednesday, I will just open up my calendar, see what we have planned for the following week, and I will decide what I'm cooking, what we're eating, and just enter all the meals into our calendar. And what I always do is, if I get an idea for some sort of dish which I'd like to cook, I'll just go into the following week's plan, the following week's calendar, and I will just put down the dish randomly somewhere, so that at least next week, why not? You know, there's one day which has been already thought of. If it doesn't work for that particular day, I'll just move it along. But at least I won't forget any bright ideas that I get. Meal planning is brilliant because not only do you have to save yourself headaches thinking about what you're going to cook and making another decision at the end of a long day, but you are also saving more time because you can get the shopping done all together rather than stopping at different times and different days for different items. Since you're also planning ahead, you can also plan to get the shopping done online if you like. I do a mixture of both online and in store, because one of the stores that I shop at doesn't have an online store, so I go there, actually Neil goes there because it's faster. That's my next point. And then I get my monthly shopping done as well online, so I do a mix of both. So you're saving time because you're shopping online, you're saving time because you're not stopping at the supermarket every day or every other day, and you can also save time because you can make a wise decision about who does the shopping. For example, we used to go shopping as a family, and I see lots of families going shopping together. Fine, you're all together, but at the end of the day, it takes longer. You're normally at the supermarket when there is rush hour or on a Saturday when there are loads of people, well, it's stressful. It's stressful for me. I'd rather be home, spend time with my kids, and my husband does the shopping in half the time that we would if we did it together, and it's sorted. So I would recommend, if you're married, or if you've got a partner, or maybe you can even do it with, just do like a swap date with another mom. Let's say every 2 weeks or every week. There's another mom who has kids a similar age as yours. So 1 week you take care of the kids and the other mom goes shopping, and the next week you swap, and it's the other way around. So it can work perfectly well as well. The kids get a play date and you get to do your shopping faster, quicker. And if you've got very young kids, it will feel like you're on holiday as well. I'm sure a lot of you can relate, because when my kids were very young, now there's 9 years between them, but even when, for example, Nina or Yannick were very young, when I used to get like that rare supermarket shopping trip, even for 30 to 45 minutes on my own, I used to feel like I was on holiday. It was seventh heaven. You're also saving more time besides the shopping aspect, because if you're planning ahead, and if you know what meals you're eating when, you can also plan your cooking. So that means that you're not cooking, let's say at 5 p.m. every day when your kids stop you every 5 minutes for juice, for water, because they cannot open a toy box, because they're squabbling. So you can actually plan to cook at a time, which makes more sense. Now, what I do is, I do a few odd jobs here and there, of course, when I'm home with my kids, but the bulk of the cooking gets done when Nina's in bed, because it's much quicker. So she's in bed, and in a matter of, for example, an hour, I can batch cook, and it's faster, it's simpler because I don't need to stop, I can concentrate. And when she's home, and when Yannick is home, instead of being in my kitchen, all the time and trying to cook and not managing and getting frustrated, I can concentrate on spending time with them, doing odd jobs around the house. Nina helps me usually, we turn it into a game, or we cook small dishes together, or make lunch together, chat with the kids, and life is so much simpler, it's slower, and I love being able to be home, and really be home, not just physically be home, just be present here, physically and mentally and emotionally. So it's not just about the time-saving aspect as well here. When you meal plan, your life slows down, so you can be more intentional with your time, and you can also choose. You will free up some time as well, especially if you team it up with batch cooking. You will be freeing up huge chunks of time. So then you can be intentional about how you spend the time that you now have on your hands. So if you haven't accessed my list of recipes, I suggest you do so, because it will help you meal plan. So I've come up with a freebie where you can get access to a list of 100 simple recipes. I have handpicked each and every one, and I've also split them into categories. So you have side dishes, lunches and dinners, and you can also select. So you can choose what type of dish you like, and you will get the list of the dishes according to the type that you've selected. Also, besides being able to choose between the type of dish, I've also gone a step further, and you can also choose the dishes which can be slow cooked. I love my slow cooker, and the bulk of my cooking, especially my batch cooking, is done inside my slow cooker because it saves me so much time and I can just set it and go. And you can also choose which recipes can be frozen. And that's something else which I will be talking about a lot, freezing. I know I've done some lives as well about freezing and freezer bags, and I'm going to have as well a couple of blog posts about freezing, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, so watch out for that content soon. So anyway, back to the list. My resource, my 100 recipes resource, it is the list that you need, because when you sit down to meal plan, remember, you're going to sit down and you're going to forget. Pun not intended, but anyway. So to get access to my list, so you can make meal planning a breeze, you can go to www.themamamanual.com/100 recipes. So that's themamamanual.com/100 recipes. 100 recipes. Tongue twister. So I don't know if you have any questions about meal planning. I'm just going to go through and see if there are any questions over here. And I can see that some people are meal planning and a few others don't, but would like to learn. Okay, so if you do get any questions afterwards, maybe you're thinking about meal planning, or you're trying to meal plan and you start struggling, or if you watch this video and you don't watch it, if you watch the recording, if you're not watching the live, still go ahead, leave your comments, leave your questions, because I will make sure to get back to you later. So that's it for today. I will see you in 2 weeks' time, because I've been trying to create some video content for an exciting new project that I have coming up, and we had extreme technical glitches yesterday. So I need to get back on it, and I need to make up for all the lost time, because I have deadlines set, because of course this new product needs to be... Okay, rewind. I've set deadlines for myself, and I'm quite a tough boss. So I need to make sure all the content is shot in time for everything to be released as planned. That's better. So thank you once more for tuning in. I will see you here again in 2 weeks on the Mama Manual Facebook page. In the meantime, you take care and happy meal planning. Bye.